The card reader spins around to face you. 3 buttons. 18%, 20, 25. You pick one. You always pick one. It feels like the most direct thing you do with money all day. No bank, no app, no middleman. Just you, handing a person a few extra dollars because they were good at their job. That's the story. Here's the part nobody mentions at the counter. In most of America, the law lets that money count as their employer's payment. Not on top of their wage. As their wage. In 2012, every robbery in the United States, all 292,000 of them, took about $341 million. That same year, workers clawed back at least $933 million in stolen wages. Not the amount stolen, the amount recovered, the part somebody noticed and won. Almost 3 times what every robber in the country managed, and it's only the fraction that got caught. So when you tap 20%, where does that money actually land? Start with the number on the wall. The federal minimum wage for a tipped worker is $2.13 an hour. It has been $2.13 since 1991. In 1996, Congress cut it loose from the regular minimum wage and froze it there permanently. That was 35 years ago. Nobody is expected to live on that. The person in front of you still has to reach $7.25 an hour. But here's how they get there. The employer pays $2.13. Your tips are counted for the rest. It has a name, the tip credit. The maximum is $5.12 an hour. And here's the important part. It's not a loophole. It's the statute. Your tip doesn't sit on top of their wage. For the first $5.12 an hour, your tip is their wage. Every dollar you add is a dollar their employer doesn't have to. You didn't give a gift. You redeemed a coupon on their behalf. And you can prove this is a choice, because in 7 states, it simply doesn't happen. Alaska, California, Minnesota, Montana, Nevada, Oregon, Washington. There, the employer pays the whole minimum wage in cash, and your tip is legally irrelevant to it. Same customers, same 3 buttons, different statute. Then there's what happens when a company gets greedy about it. In 2019, the Attorney General of Washington, D.C. sued DoorDash. The allegation? Between 2017 and 2019, the more you tipped, the less DoorDash paid your driver. Your tip reached them. It just replaced money the company would have paid anyway. DoorDash settled for $2.5 million. It agreed to stop and to say plainly where tips go. Other cities brought the same case. They won too. Now, some of you are thinking, so what? The worker still ends up at minimum wage either way. Who cares which pocket it came out of? Fair question. Here's the answer. When your tip fills the wage, a generous night costs the employer nothing, and a slow night costs the worker everything. You're not topping up their pay. You're absorbing their employer's risk, and nobody told you that was the deal. Now, that DC case did fix something. DoorDash agreed to keep tips separate from base pay. Count what that took, though. An attorney general, a 2-year investigation, and a promise somebody has to keep watching. So watch what actually changed for the driver. It's 9:40 p.m. The last delivery is done. The phone buzzes once. Not a payout summary, a receipt. 2 lines on it. What the company owed, what you added. 2 numbers that never touched each other. Because when you paid, the payment split itself. Your fare one way, your tip the other, into a record the employer never held. Nobody had to be trusted to pass it along because it never arrived anywhere it could be held. And that's the trick. If the tip lands where the employer can't reach it, there's nothing to count it against. The wage is the wage. The tip is a tip. 2 separate objects. And for the first time, you can see both. That's the good version. It still has a ceiling. It stops the subsidy. It does not raise the floor. $2.13 is still $2.13. A tip that can't be swallowed doesn't make the base wage livable. It just stops it being quietly filled by strangers. There's a second cost. Every tip visible. Every Slow Tuesday, permanent. Make the money legible, and you make the worker legible too. And workers have not historically done well out of being easy to measure. You thought you were being kind to a person. You were adjusting a company's payroll. But notice which part of this was ever hard. Not the technology, not the money. That $933 million was clawed back 1 complaint at a time, long after the money moved. The better version isn't a bigger fight. It's a tip that arrives already separate. 3 buttons on a card reader can mean 2 completely different things, depending on which state you happen to be standing in. In 7 of them, the one you press already means exactly what you think it means. If you want more of these, subscribe.